Hey everybody! I'm here today to talk to you about your hazard lights, which is that symbol or icon that you see on that button right there. I'll specifically be showing you and telling you when to use your hazard lights. And this will be an easy driving tutorial for beginners. So that's right. When to use your hazard lights, an easy driving tutorial for beginners. Once again, the topic of this video will be me telling you and showing you when to use your hazard lights, and it will be an easy driving tutorial for absolute beginners. So let's get into this. So these are your hazard lights. Now, how to use them? Essentially, you press them down. They will put on both of your indicators, your right and left turn signal at the same time, and then you press it down again to turn them off. On older cars, you're gonna have to push it down on top of the steering wheel stalk, and then pop it off, like sort of push it back out. But on most newer cars, there's a button like this. So let me turn this camera around and tell you, just basically sum it up when you should be using your hazard lights, okay? So, because a lot of people don't use their hazard lights correctly. Essentially, to sum it up, you should use your hazard lights when you're in a situation whenever your vehicle could potentially be a hazard to other drivers, okay? So if you're in a situation where your vehicle could possibly be a hazard to other drivers, like obviously any vehicle could be a hazard to other drivers at any time, but I mean possibly like could potentially be a hazard to other drivers, even the slightest bit of a chance, then you put your hazard lights on and it tells other vehicles that you need extra space and that you need extra time. So let me give you some examples. Let's say you're driving and you have an underinflated tire, and that underinflated tire is causing your car to sort of act a little bit weirdly, and you're trying to make it to a gas station to pump up your tire. You would put your hazard lights on. That lets, it's garbage day where I live. I'm in my driveway right now, so it's time for garbage collection. Or I think they do food waste first. It should be, anyways, yeah, should be the organics, which is like the food waste first, I believe. Yeah, that's it. Take it away. Perfect, done. All right, anyways. So sorry about that. I knew it was garbage day, but I had to film in the driveway in the car. So I was like, I'm gonna encounter at some point they're gonna drive in the background. Not a big deal. They sometimes do a little U-turn where I live. I'm not going into too much detail about my address, but they do a little U-turn, so you might hear them reversing depending on what they're doing now. All right, or three-point turn. Anyways, maybe they watch my video on doing a three-point turn. You never know. All right, so if you have a flat tire, not a flat tire, but you have an because if you have a flat tire, you should be pulling over to the side. If you have an underinflated tire and it's causing your car to react a little bit weirdly with the steering and acceleration and braking, then you would put your hazard lights on as you're trying to make it to the gas station, because they're going to essentially, the hazard lights are going to tell other drivers you need some extra space and some extra time, okay? If, let's say, your car is like not accelerating properly, or your braking system is not working like 100% properly, and you need to drive slower, then you're going to put your hazard lights on, right? When you're not going to put your hazard lights on is when you pull over to the side. When you pull over to the side, you're going to put your side signal on, your right signal if you're pulling over to the right, or your left signal if you're pulling over to the left. Because if you're pulling over, you're not necessarily a hazard. People use their hazard lights to say like, I'm not moving from here, I'm pulled over, I'm not moving. So I mean, that kind of makes sense because your car is a hazard because it's not moving. But in reality, you shouldn't be pulling over and using your hazard lights. You should be pulling off like onto side street or something where there's not traffic. Like I've seen people pull over on main roads and they put their hazards on, which tells me, obviously, I know what they mean, like they're not moving anywhere, but it's not really the right use of hazards because you're not pulling over in the right spot to begin with. Okay, so your hazard lights should be used solely when your vehicle is a hazard to other vehicles. Okay, or could be a hazard to other vehicles. And if you're pulling over and using your hazard lights to tell other drivers to go around you, you should probably be pulling over in a parking lot or in a side street where there's not going to be a lot of other drivers to go around you. Anyways, that's it. That's the easiest way to think about it with regards to when to use your hazard lights and an easy driving tutorial for beginners. I've explained it. And hopefully you like this video. I don't know what they're doing here. They're having a little conversation. I don't know. Maybe hopefully it's nothing. No. Nothing to do with my bin. I don't know if there's a car pulled over. My neighbor's doing a renovation, so there's a car pulled over in front of our bins. Mine and my wife's, like, they're not my bins, they're mine and my wife's bins together, and my kids, technically. I have 4 kids. We're all in the house, right? Obviously me and my wife own the house, but they're my kids too. Anyways, our bins, okay? Don't worry, my bins, our bins, doesn't really matter. There's a car pulled over there. I don't know if maybe they're wondering if they can make the turn or something. Anyways, that is besides the point. I went off on a tangent there. Yeah, all about hazard lights. I think they're gonna do a little 3-point turn here. And nope, they're just driving. All good. Whoa. Anyways, yeah, they're just driving. They're getting other bins. Totally went off on a tangent. I do apologize. And now I got my other neighbor on the other side coming home right now. So lots going on in my driveway right now. All right, in my neighborhood. All right. Anyways, that's besides the point. When to use your hazard lights, an easy driving tutorial for beginners about hazard lights, when to use them properly. Remember it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you like this video tutorial about driving and hazard lights, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Sorry about the long ending. So please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.